Hi, and welcome to this very special webinar which I've put together for the AICI, which is the Association of Image Consultants International, the Australian chapter. And the reason why I've put this together is that since March I've been busy working from my home office for clients who are also in the same situation. Because let's face it, we've all been working from home during this pandemic, and like it or not, it's something we have had to adjust to. But it doesn't mean we have to let ourselves go. We didn't know at the outset how long our new working conditions were going to last, whether some would lose their jobs, have more work to do, or have to step up into more responsible roles. Many found themselves chartering unknown waters. There were many questions that needed answering and reassurance that was needed. So, together with Amanda Blessing, who is an executive career and branding strategist for executive women, who regularly coaches executive women on how to land and maintain the top job, we've conducted 5 webinars so far to over 600 women on how to reinvent, differentiate, and focus on their digital leadership brand. During those webinars, we've learned so much about what women want to hear and why it has been so important for them to have had the opportunity to vent, to ask questions, and seek clarification. We've named this webinar series Style and Substance, and I'm expecting, as is Amanda, that this is something that will continue because women need support. So, during the next 30 minutes, I want to share with you what we have found out about the biggest challenges women face personally and professionally, observations from the other side of the screen, the impact of the pandemic on women, the solutions to overcome their challenges as we as image consultants can apply to help them, and what the outcomes have been. Firstly, to fill you in a little on my past, I've been an image consultant since 2003. So collectively, I have over 30 years' experience in industries where appearance and image are key to success. I'm accredited as a CIP, which is a Certified Image Professional with the AICI, a global organisation and association. I'm a certified trainer, I have a business degree, and I've continued my education in style, makeup, and image. I'm also an author, presenter on podcasts, prime radio, local radio, and for major events. Being of mature age myself, my clients are on the whole senior executive women who are vulnerable personally and professionally as they enter the more mature phases of their life and careers. So I treat these situations as highly serious and important to get right and be able to provide the right advice for my clients so that they can continue on with their roles. Now, in the first few weeks, even, it became evident that women were facing enormous challenges. There was uncertainty in their lives, jobs, relationships, and business sustainability. There were changing dress codes, not being at the office. How does one dress for work now? There were unrealistic expectations on their personal and professional lives and how to successfully integrate the two together and not go absolutely mad. There were financial restraints. Some lost positions, some had to take a pay cut, some were landlords, so their income streams were severed. Prosperity, it seemed, went out the window. There were new work conditions. Working from home had its own set of challenges. Finding a space, separating it from your intimate and private areas, such as bedrooms, not feeling like you were sitting in a broom cupboard or a corner of the family room, and feeling anxious about what others would see behind you that may affect your image and how other people perceive you, because your new office now is something others may not have had the privilege of seeing before, and for good reason, and that was really confronting. In addition, women were having to face homeschooling, for children of all age brackets, depending on what age you are and where you're at with your family. There was lack of time out for them. No more quiet time in the car to reflect the day. No more networking events for social interaction. Shopping time alone. All the things we as women took for granted that gave us that all-important break were gone. There was no set roadmap. That in itself was daunting enough. How long was this going to take? How do we work our way through it? Unemployment, not just of women in leadership roles, but for their staff too. Family members and friends all were affected. Then there was emotional trauma of dealing with so much more. Now, I know women are resilient, but resilience was something we all needed, as well as bucket loads of courage. Our health and well-being was affected. How could we take on board all of the above and still look after ourselves and hold it together? Because as women, that's what we're expected to do, whether that's right or wrong. Women realised pretty quickly that we had taken for granted things like regular hair appointments, networking and social outings, shopping, even if it was just for food, maintenance checks and balances on our beauty regimes, our waxing, our nails, our weight control, fitness, home cleaning. Suddenly we were back to doing all of these things, back to domestic chores. And then after school care, something busy mums relied on for peace of mind and order in their lives so they could get on with their job. All gone. We were left in the dark to create our own workbook. Now, right at the start, I did a post on LinkedIn and it had over 10,000 views and a really, really long line of comments. I was trying to find out from women what was happening, how were they dressing at home? And in this long line of comments, women said things like, "Ha ha ha, yes, I'm guilty of number 3. Must remember to put on makeup as this would certainly help too. I agree with the others. It's often also what is behind you, the cat, for some the children, or the noises. Today it was dogs barking on a call with an airline. I think in these times it's important to dress each day appropriately, sans dacky tracks and PJs, and to remember to look after ourselves, including being connected with each other. Oh, and share how we can help each other." Smiley face. Another one said, "Do our clients expect us to be dressed professionally on a Zoom call? Perhaps casual office wear. It's complicated, even in the real world." And someone else, "Maybe this is the time for us all to challenge the importance we place on clothing over productivity, creativity, collaboration, and innovative problem solving." What became apparent was that some women were losing control and risked their sense of self, their positions, their livelihoods, and their confidence. During the webinars, there were many things that Amanda and I have addressed, which I know have been important, and they're current in conversations. Things like how to set up your workplace, because let's face it, this is not a phone booth. How to organise your backgrounds. How to organise your lighting so that you don't have shadows and dark circles under your eyes. What are the branding considerations you need to have in mind when you're positioning yourself to conduct your business online? What should you wear in terms of style, colour, how to accessorise, what fabrics are appropriate, and what necklines are going to work best for you to give you really good executive presence. And how to groom yourself, your hair, your makeup, how to minimise flaws, which we as women are really good at picking up on, and how to stay fresh all day. It was apparent that if women wanted to remain visible, relevant, and heard, then they had to get their act together and fast. Working at the kitchen table or on the floor in a semi-casual state was just not going to cut it. So Amanda and I met on Zoom and decided to continue doing the webinars. Many of our clients told us they were feeling flat, frumpy, worn down, and plain frustrated with life right now. So together, we've addressed a whole lot of information on topics that these women actually asked to learn about, and we learnt this from asking the relevant questions of our followers in advance. Some of the overriding questions we delivered on were how not to look old and frumpy, how to appear confident, how to dress comfortably but still look professional, how to project authority and expertise, how to behave with online etiquette, how to prepare for interviews, and what is the appropriate body language and how do you maintain eye contact when you're actually in a Zoom meeting. And we use this forum to demonstrate, inform, educate, and encourage women to rise above it all. Now, why was this so important? Well, women were realizing that their good enough was not enough to cut it anymore. So our challenge was to help women with strategies for reinvention, to re-energize themselves, to redefine who they were as women and what it was they were actually doing, to potentially rebrand themselves. Great opportunity to do it and to reposition themselves across all social media platforms. And also, most importantly, was to be able to differentiate not just themselves from their competitors or peers, but for themselves to feel like they're differentiating themselves every single day. And this is where the skills and tools I had available to me as an image consultant were to really come into play. Now, using the online style blueprint that I have access to, I was able to advise women on correct style choices to elevate their executive presence from the waist up when on Zoom. Given that many of my clients are in leadership positions, this was critical to their personal branding message and confidence. In particular, we focused on necklines, shoulder lines, how to create powerful messages through use of line and design, focal points, correct fit of garments when you're online, the shape of garments and lapels, eyewear and accessories that can be worn without distracting the viewer on the other side of the screen. Now, following on from style and in line with a major concern of women, which was how they could maintain their authenticity, was to investigate their personality style expression. Now, usually this is something they've never considered, so embracing the idea that they could dress to express their character and personality meant they could differentiate themselves from their colleagues or competitors and start to align with their personal branding message. Now, this is an online questionnaire I take my clients through, so it's really easy to facilitate, and it's one that was also fun for them to do. Now, this is a really important point because through all of this drama and negativity and pandemic, to be able to provide my clients with something that was just really lighthearted and fun and entertaining was really, really empowering for them. Marrying this in with the concept of colour analysis, the next step was colour. So, as image consultants, I appreciate the importance of colour and how it can make us feel. But wearing colour online was something that women wanted to know about, and it's an area they know very little about as a rule if they've never ever had their colours done before. Being able to work with them via an online consultation where their images were used to apply the same process of colour analysis I would do in person, I've been able to consult with my clients to advise them on things like the right colour direction that suits them for their age and their personal features, the best contrast of colour to wear for their meetings and virtual presentations, the best colour combinations that complement their individual features but that also work with their objectives and who they're meeting, the best patterns to wear that are suitable for online meetings, makeup colours to wear that appear natural and complementary to the wearer, hair colour, especially when women haven't been able to get to the hairdresser due to closure and being in lockdown. What type of accessories should you be wearing in terms of colour and coordination with what you're wearing? And the strategic use of colour to create impact and powerful impressions. Application of colour to a specific situation. Who are you meeting? What's your goal objective? But also to use colour as a means of creating executive presence. Working with colours from your particular zone to create the most commanding and impressive impression that's going to capture the onlooker's attention in a positive but very subliminal way. Sometimes that's involved doing wardrobe audits with clients, which again is something which is quite fun. This has been possible using the power of Zoom and FaceTime to help women sort through the clutter, prepare, plan, and record their outfits so they have an accurate record of them and what looked great, what worked, and what didn't. All saves time at the end of the day, helps reduce the stress and frustration. Now, important step in online presentation for women is makeup, not only to help them fresh and energized, but to help them look more youthful, professional, and polished. During personalized makeup lessons for my clients, I've been putting together makeup palettes for them and doing personalized videos for them to show that makeup, it doesn't have to be hard, it's actually fun and it's easy, and it helps them work through the steps of a flawless makeup. Many women have actually given up on makeup in the past, and so going through this process, not only it was challenging, but it was fun. And once they got over the initial barrier of knowing how to do it, they actually have really enjoyed being able to do this again. Hairstyle recommendations are something that women have asked about too, whether it's a hair colour change or a style redirection. If I've worked with them on their style, colour and personality profiles, it's a natural course to advise on hair for my clients, and with the right information, they can take that to their hairstylist and instruct them on what needs to be done. I've done many a transformation over the years, but particularly now during COVID, it's been something that women have embraced as being a really refreshing and energizing thing to do for themselves. Now, just because we can't physically shop with our clients during COVID, personal shopping has not fallen by the wayside. Using the right tools and knowledge from the work done with specific clients on their style, colour and personality, it is possible to shop for them in online retail stores for clothes and accessories. Now, it's worked really well with my existing suppliers. I have built trusting relationships with who have been prepared to send items to my clients without payment until the client has been really happy and has been able to try them on and know they're going to work. It's been a fabulous trust basis, and I think this is one of the amazing things that has come out of COVID, is that we all need to collaborate and work together. I've also helped clients with their background images, helping them set up their home office backgrounds with props and items that allow them to project their professional image, because after all, what people see of you and what's behind you now is your personal and professional stage. Now, the outcomes for your clients and the women I've been working with are many, and this includes things around clarity, around what to wear and how to wear it, what works and what doesn't, what they need to bother with and what they can leave, and what message they're portraying with their appearance and whether it's appropriate. There's been certainty around why you are investing in yourselves. There's been confidence to be visible, to be heard, and to be noticed because you're able to actually do this well. Self-esteem. because when you're in front of a camera, it's like looking at yourself in the mirror. And in reality, for some women, they normally hide from this experience. They don't like looking at themselves in the mirror. But being on Zoom means you have to look at yourself. You do see the reflection of yourself on the computer screen. So it can really be quite confronting and can diminish your self-esteem. So being able to work with me and have some guidance has given women enormous comfort and that much needed support and boost to morale. There's been opportunities to search for new openings, personally to explore different looks and reevaluate how you're showing up. There's been vision of how you want the world to see you now and moving forward to be in line with your goals and your needs. And this has created positive outlook instead of being sucked into the vortex of COVID hype, to look upon this as a way to reinvent, to reposition, to re-engage and to refresh. There's also been recognition of who you are and what you stand for. There's been respect of their peers and to themselves to take the time to bother about your appearance instead of putting themselves second, third, or maybe even last, which is something as women we're pretty good at doing. There's been rewards. Yes, those who have taken the time to invest in themselves are getting the rewards. There's been new positions acquired. There's been new industry placements. There's been compliments, which in turn builds self-esteem. So important when we're going through such turmoil at the moment. There's been a reacquainting with themselves to new or old networks with a newfound energy because we all need to be connected. There's been revaluing who they are, not allowing themselves to become irrelevant in this changing environment we are in. And a realigning with their values and what's important in relation to work, life and play. Now, I've had conversations with women who have denied being appointed in certain roles because the values the organisation has is not aligned with their own values. And that's a great decision to be able to make, because we know that values are a really important part of how we operate. Now, my role as a certified image professional has been to inspire women to explore into their image and appearance, to direct them to the right advice and help, to empower themselves to improve from the inside out and believe they are worth the investment. Too often women deny themselves the opportunity to advance in terms of their appearance and their image, which in turn just really affects the whole message that they're putting out to the world, and it can actually sabotage your efforts to secure effective employment. You are worth it, and you do need to invest in yourself. I've been able to educate them on how style, colour and appearance can elevate them to greater heights, and also demonstrate through a series of these webinars that, you really have the opportunity now to be able to do something about this. You have time on your side, you have a pandemic going on. It is an opportunity for you to actually reevaluate all of this for yourself, and also to support women with communication and reaching out through LinkedIn and through newsletters and emails to women to just ask, are you okay? It's really been a very rewarding time in my career, because I have been able to do this, and I have had women approach me, and I have been able to utilize all of the knowledge and experience that I've acquired over being an image consultant for 17 years to be able to empower women irrespective of where you're at in your life. So I'd just like to end on saying that really, when we're considering your image and image management, it is all about being individual. how well you can express your uniqueness through your appearance, how memorable and magnetic you can be. So, how effective is the impression you're going to be making on others by doing your presentations and meetings on Zoom during this COVID work from home situation? How appropriate is what you're wearing? Are you making the most of your personal attributes when it comes to your appearance? How guided are you? Are you aware of your options with style, colour, grooming, and coordination? Because if you can manage to consider all of these things, you should also be feeling very empowered during this period. That concludes my short presentation on why women have been seeking to learn more about their image during a pandemic. It certainly has given us the opportunity to be a resource and to help women, and I just really look forward to being able to serve. So if you'd like to connect with me further, then hop across to LinkedIn. If we're already not connected, then please send me a connection request. If we are connected, shoot me a message. Let's start a conversation. I also have a free webinar which is on how to dress for boardroom success without the frustration of stress of having to do it all on your own. And there's some brilliant case studies in there of my own clients which you might like to experience and explore. And or you can just send me an email if you've got a question or an inquiry, or you just like to, as I said, just start a conversation. It's all about collaboration, it's all about connecting, and I look forward to hopefully being in touch with you really soon.